On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype. We make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what Guan. A blessed and wonderful Thursday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now my peeps, I don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we're going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps, in the morning. Yeah. We're going to kick it off with some more not so good news internationally. Coming out of the state of Connecticut in the United States of America, where this criminal element, Javian Adams, took the life of his Jamaican father and his mother. I'm not for sure if his mother is Jamaican or American, but the father is said to be a former firefighter. I think that he had retired as a firefighter and left for America. Boy, may I tell you, it's rough. Now the criminal element, 25-year-old Javian Adams, have been arrested and charged in connection with the fatal knockings and clappings of his parents at a home in Waterbury in Connecticut on Monday night. The victims have since been identified as 51-year-old Carleen Williams and his father, 55-year-old Marc Adams. Now charged in connection with the incident, as I stated earlier, is the criminal element presently on your screen. And that's according to Fox 19 News. Now the criminal element, Javian Adams, is facing multiple charges, including fatal knockings and clappings with special circumstances, knockings and clappings during the commission of a felony, and larceny of a vehicle and criminal use of a weapon. Now, reports reaching On The Spot News Media would suggest that the police were called to a home on Beverly Avenue on Monday evening where Williams and Adams were found with a portion of corner wounds all over their bodies. They were pronounced, you know what, at the home, same place, on the spot. The incident is said to be linked to a domestic violence type of thing. Now the criminal element Javian Adams is being held by the police on a $5 million bond, one of the highest bond I've seen in recent times, and is expected to appear in court on Wednesday. Now reports are that the 25-year-old had a long criminal history of domestic violence with more than 7 prior offenses. Now, the criminal element is also said to have gotten into that outrage because his parents continuously speak to him about stealing monies from their bank account. Boy, may I tell you, my peeps, the thing rough, but anyway, back to local style. And condolences to the bereaved families of Mr. Adams here in Jamaica, and also those who are living abroad. Really, really sad. Now On The Spot News Media will continue to give you updates as this murder case unfolds. Now back to local style. In yesterday's vlog, I spoke briefly about a teenager who was brutally gunned down in the parish of St. Mary. Now the St. Mary police are probing the gun of fatal knockings and clappings of this teen, presently on your screen, identified as 17-year-old Raheem Smith, Now reports are that sometime around 10:18 p.m. Raheem was conned up by armed criminal elements in a section of Anato Bay identified as Cricket River. He was pronounced you know what at the hospital. The St. Mary Police Division recorded around 20 fatal knockings and clappings as at October 4th, and this is 2 less than the 22 homicides, or 9% reduction when compared to the similar period under review last year. Now, that particular area of Anatomy has been garnering some attention over the past couple of months as it relates to crime and violence. Now, on the Spot News Media will most definitely be looking into it to see what we can come up with to quell the ongoing gang warfare between rival criminal elements. Boy, may I tell you, the thing rough, but anyway, the next story. Now, I also spoke about this one in yesterday's vlog where a man get knife up Tuesday night and became the 49th fatality in the St. Anne Police Division since the start of the year. Now the deceased man presently on your screen has since been identified as 38-year-old Roy Paul Aniki, said to be of a Tracyville address in Limal, St. Anne. He was reportedly knifed up and his life taken in his community by unknown assailants. It took place sometime around 11:45 p.m. The St. Anne Criminal Investigation Branch is probing that particular matter. The division, as at October, recorded 48 fatalities since the start of the year. And this is 8 more or 20% increase over the similar period last year. St. Anne is also the only of the 19 police divisions to currently have an increase in fatal knockings and clappings and also knifings year on year. The division, however, runs second to the St. Andrew South Police Division that leads the nation with a whopping 61 homicides since the start of the year. The top 5 rounded out as the St. Catherine South stands with 45, St. James with 44, and the St. Catherine North with 43 fatalities since the start of the year. Now the next thing that we are going to talk about, my peeps, and this just goes to show, that time are the master of all. Now, one of the incarcerated criminal elements we are talking about 90, one of him little tap knockers and clappers them, one of him little gugubat, one of him little goon, a taxi operator, has been charged in connection with a vendor's fatal knockings and clappings. Now on your screen is a screenshot of a video that I did December 1, 2024. To the extreme left of the screen, the criminal element dressed in the black jeans, white shirt, and a bottle of champagne in his hand, sporting what seems to be a dreadlocks hairstyle, is the criminal element in question. Now he has since been identified as Damion Taylor, otherwise known as Fiyah, said to be of a Rodney Street address in Kingston 12. Now he has been charged in connection with the fatal knockings and clappings of the 46-year-old vendor Walata Brown. Yeah man, Walata, the same person. She's also presently on your screen. Now she was taken out in a hail of bullets just a few days ago on September 28th, a Sunday night to be exact, along Oxford Street in Kingston. Now he has been charged with her fatal knockings and clappings, conspiracy to murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. Now for those who may have forgotten, my peeps, according to reports from the Denham Town Police, sometime around 4:25 p.m., On the day of the incident, the criminal element walked up to the now deceased who was sitting at home and stated that him comfort, him jump out a pro box, we get to understand, and armed with a firearm. He approached and opened gunfire and then escaped in the waiting motor car. Walata sustained gunshot wounds to the head and was taken to the nearby Kingston Public Hospital, where of course she was pronounced you know what. And during the investigation, a review footage from a Jamaica Eye, the island closed circuit television network, led detectives to St. Thomas on Tuesday, October 7. The vehicle allegedly used in that attack was seized and the criminal element was taken into custody. So he was formally charged later that day following a caution statement and a question and answer session conducted in the presence of his attorney. Now his court date is presently being finalized. Now to all of the naysayers who love talk about say, yo, on the spot news media, you just love put up the man them picture. You don't know nothing about the youths them, a fight the youths them and all these type of foolishness. Sometimes on the spot news media is more privy to certain information that you are not. And some of the times you will not know of the criminal elements background until them broke out and turn sour. On the spot news media tries to warn you before these criminal elements blossom into the monsters that they have become. Yeah, man. Remember criminal elements like 1214? Me I want to know years about them criminal element there before them blossom into the monsters that they have become. Criminal elements like Broken, same thing. On a need for start, take heed. Yeah, man. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about, you know, my peeps, is a viral video that has been making rounds on social media where an SUV collided in the back of a white Toyota Probox, presently on your screen. Now, investigations are underway into this road rage incident on Constant Spring Road in St. Andrew on Monday, where, for those who have seen the video, would have seen a man brandishing a firearm and use it to box another man in the presence of a police personnel. Now, it is understood that the man who drew the weapon is said to be a member of the Jamaica Defense Force. Now, I stated this in yesterday's vlog that Jamaicans have a violent nature. And I did not take out anybody from that equation. It includes everybody. Because most of you who are saying that they're outraged and have utter disgust because he's a soldier and look how he behave. Probably, if you had a firearm in your possession, you would have probably reacted the same way, or even worse, because of the violent nature that we have. It is stated that the taxi man, the Probox man, lick him vehicle and a driveway from the incident and him drive him down. So the driveway him drive him down now and catch up on him. That is what sparked the outrage. Now we're going to hear from the superintendent in charge of the St. Andrews Central Police Division as he weighs in on this incident. Now listen.
The incident has been properly reported. We are looking at several offenses. So we are on top of things. We have a suspect by name, not yet arrested. And we are doing some workup right now to have that person in our custody. We are far advanced with this investigation. And In short order, we can give you an update onto the progress of our investigation.
The Firearm License Authority has confirmed that the JDF member is indeed a licensed firearm holder. Now we're going to hear from a personnel attached to the Firearm License Authority who also weighs in on this incident. Now listen.
The firearm is in the authorities' possession and a formal investigation into the incident has been launched. Using a firearm, a licensed firearm, to intimidate, threaten, or instill fear is a violation of the terms and conditions of a holder's license and will not be tolerated. Where such complaints are brought to the authorities' attention through any medium and an investigation finds them to be credible, the board will immediately revoke the license.
Now, you see for yourself how the violent nature in our society play out right there so. So regardless if you're a regular member of Chan Public, police or soldier, trust and believe, the outcome sometimes will definitely be the same. Because you have to remember, if we view the society to have violent nature, where the police and soldiers them come from, are the same violent society. So some, of course, will most definitely slip through the cracks and you will see it play out plain and straight in a uniform. Yeah, man, sad to say, but I just saw the thing set right now. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about, and the last thing for this morning's set of stories, is that the St. Andrew South Police have listed 7 men who are wanted for crimes across the division. Now, first on that list is one of Jamaica's most wanted criminal elements. We are talking about this old dirty corner boy presently on your screen, identified as Courtney Anthony Ashley, but is more popularly known in the streets as Bloodstain. Now, his name speaks volume for the type of person that he truly is. Now, this criminal element here is wanted for a slew of crimes long. So, yeah, man. This criminal element here is wanted for every single gun crime under the sun. So if seen, please do not approach. He's considered to be armed and dangerous all the time. Just call the police and make Officer Yeman pick and team go deal with him. Yeah, man. Now the next criminal element presently on your screen, who has been deemed wanted by the police, has since been identified as Bebito Brown, and he too is wanted for a fatal knockings and clappings and a slew of firearm-related charges. He frequents the Kalalu Bed area of Riverton. Now the next criminal element presently on your screen, identified as Craig Wilson, also known as Bobo. He's wanted by the police for the offense of obtaining money by means of false pretense. He frequents Mandeville in Manchester and Red Hills in St. Andrew. Now the next criminal element presently on your screen has since been identified as Andre Brown, but more popularly known in the streets as Biggs. He's wanted for fatal knockings and clappings, wounding with intent with the use of a firearm. Now this criminal element here frequents the General Fitzgerald Avenue community in Kingston 13. The next criminal element presently on your screen has since been identified as DeAndre Dominic Williams, but them call him Yankee, Yanks, or Street Life in high streets. Now he's wanted for a wounding with intent with the use of a firearm. This criminal element here frequents 4 Nanny Boulevard in Kingston 3 and the General Chisholm Avenue community. The next criminal element in question has since been identified as Samuel Brown, but them call him Shotty or Marc or Shotty Marc in our streets. Now this criminal element here is wanted for a slew of firearm related charges to include that of murder. Now he frequents the 440 Drive community in Kingston 11. And last but most definitely not the least, Kevin Roberts, otherwise known as Tickman or Yankee. Now this criminal element here is wanted for a slew of firearm related charges to include that of a fatal knockings and clappings. He frequents the General Bellrock community in the St. Andrews South Police Division. So anyone having any information surrounding the whereabouts of these criminal elements are asked to contact the nearest police station or give on the spot news media the information so we can pass it on to the relevant authorities. So Officer Yeman Pick and team can be deployed to go seek after these criminal elements. They are all considered to be armed and dangerous. Yeah man. So anyway my peeps, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to give you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah man.